I never believed at any given time that I was in violation of the Hatch Act. This was an opportunity for the Republican Party to try to intimidate me to get out of a race that they know that they're going to have a difficult time winning. The Republican Party does not want a qualified candidate running against Sheriff Howard. Sheriff Howard's record does not lead to confidence on his own party's part that he can win this race. The record of mismanagement, misspending, lack of supervision, lack of training, and lack of equipment for his officers is terrible. We're going to correct those things. With this information from the federal government releasing any idea in anybody's mind that I'm in violation of the Hatch Act, that being a dead issue now, I want to begin to discuss the situation at the jails and the situation with the Sheriff's Department in general with Sheriff Howard. And we're going to run a campaign based on the issues, not on the efforts to embarrass me or get me out of the race. I know that the taxpayers of Erie County are going to spend millions of dollars defending these lawsuits and paying the lawsuits that are a result of the mismanagement of the Erie County Holding Center and the Erie County Penitentiary. This has to stop. We have to stop the bleeding. The current administration has had 4 years since this was brought up to them in the last election cycle. They have done nothing, and the situation has gotten worse. I am concerned because now I'm seeing it begin to move into the road patrol with the recent loss of accreditation. How bad is that going to get? We need to stop the bleeding. We need a new set of eyes. We need new leadership in the Sheriff's Department. I'm going to be the leader that's going to straighten this out, and we're going to start moving in a positive direction instead of continuing to move in a negative direction. Well, a lot of people don't know what's going on. That's what you get on the streets. They don't realize the pattern of mismanagement that's currently occurring at the Sheriff's Department. I don't think there's a full realization of what's this costing the taxpayers. I've also had the opportunity to run into many deputies and many sheriffs and many corrections officers that indicate to me that they're unhappy with the way they're treated and they're unhappy with the way the Sheriff's Department is currently being run. They are not well supervised, they are not well managed, they're not well trained, and they're not well equipped. We need to change that around. The U.S. Justice Department report indicated their policies hadn't been updated in years, that there's conflicting policies between two facilities. This is nothing but a disaster looking for a place to land, and I happen to believe it's already landed. We have to stop. We have to stop. We have to put in new leadership, and we need to fix this problem. 5 reforms, that's going to take a little bit of time. One of the first things we're going to do is look and identify the in particular areas that are absolutely broken. Off the top of my head, we know that we have to review every policy and procedure and bring them into compliance with best practices of jails and holding centers throughout the country. Once we establish what those best practices are, we need to then change our policies and put those things into place. We're going to need to identify some funding in order to better train our officers. And we're going to have to start to analyze the use of force complaints that have come in so that we can better equip our officers to deal with the issues inside a jail without having to necessarily always resort to physical force. There are other methods that we can utilize that will protect the county a lot better. We're going to get the road patrol reaccredited. That is a situation that simply has to occur. That's going to help us receive additional grant monies and bring monies into the Sheriff's Department. We're going to take a look at management from top down and to see who's deficient. Now, if we can train our managers on how to better handle their staffs, I believe that's going to almost immediately have a positive impact on the officers that are working in the facility and on the people that they have to deal with. There are, not just simply 5 things, but they're all interrelated. But we're going to have to take things one step at a time. The most important thing we're going to have to do is find professional jailers and put them in charge of the jail. We can no longer afford to have the Friends and Family Plan working in the holding center and in the Sheriff's Department in general. Their organizational chart looks like a family tree. That has to come to an end. We need to put professionals in places where they can do their jobs.